Alrighty, so hey, before I go any further, I want to give a shout out to Ian. He has an incredible, I'll go down here so you can see him. He has an incredible YouTube channel, a Canadian beekeeper's blog, incredible information. And Ian, honored that you're catching the odd video here that I'm doing. But definitely check him out, a Canadian beekeeper's blog. He's beekeeping in actually the province in Canada I was born. I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Anyways, so to give you an update on what we're doing here, these are solar boards, and it's a type of plastic that I'm not even sure what they use. It almost looks like a corrugated plastic. Absorbs the sun. There's felt on the inside, and I am using butyric acid, or as it's called, BeeGo. It smells horrible and it gets in everything, like your clothes and everything, but I like it. It works really well and evaporates so that you don't get that obviously in the honey. You do have to be careful when using it that you don't use too large a quantity. I mean, probably I might use a half a teaspoon on each one of these boards per yard. And but anyway, so bees are looking good. Flow is more or less over. There is still some blackberries, dandelions around everything, but for the most part, wanting to get these broken down because I'm wanting to go ahead and start treating for mites, do a round of treatment for those. First thing I do after this has been on for a few minutes, and today's a perfect day for doing this because they're gone. About 80 degrees and sunny, so it's hot, but it's not unbearable. And then what I do is crack the next box down. Because what you can do, you can take a peek in the box and see if the bees have left. Give that a couple more minutes. Same deal here. Crack it to the side. This here they never really got into. This was an unused box. That on the back of the truck. Throw that back on. Rack them and leave it for time being. The other thing that I'm doing here, and let's see if we can get a shot of it. Let's see here. Try this. And I'll see if you can see that good enough. These are out. You can see it drives them out pretty good. This box. This was actually a colony that we had to re-clean. Mind you, they look like they're coming back. Yeah, they're coming back. They got set back a bit. But so what I'm doing here is, if I am finding brood in like the third chamber, but I'm noticing that their numbers can still use a bit of boosting, I'll take those frames of brood and put them back down here in the second deeps. But maybe we'll get to that. The main thing I'm wanting to do is I'm going to be doing a round of feeding here in a little bit, and so actually tomorrow I'll be doing a round of feeding, and so I'm taking 2 frames out of the second deep where a 2-gallon feeder will go in tomorrow, and just putting those aside. So this one here, that's ready to go. That's broken down to where it needs to be. Let's see here if maybe. Tell you what, this yeah, there we go. Try that. Okay, so here's a good example of try and give you a visual. That's how you know that bee goes working there. They were starting to come out of the... Okay, so this here, I've got a frame here that's just foundation. But they didn't really have a chance to draw out. I'm gonna pull that. There's another frame of foundation. I'm gonna pull that. If you remember, what I did here when we were in the middle of the flow is that I took the honey supers off and put a new empty deep above the first box, and the reason for that was to give the queen room to lay, and also for them to backfill that third super that had brood. However, there is some brood left in some of the third deeps, and so what I do then is, as the honey flow came to an end and they didn't really have the chance to draw this foundation out, I'm just pulling that foundation. There I've got space for 3 frames, and then I'm going to go into this one, and let's see here. I'm going to set this back up here. Once again, I go in with full disclosure here that I have no feeling of having a strength in doing professional cinematography or whatever it's called. But anyway, okay, so I've got a couple of really good frames here, cat brood and larvae. There's a good one. There's a good one, capped eggs. So I'm going to take the best and give that back to them. Let's see, there's a perp. That's a nice frame. You know, like with any business, you have to run the economics of you know, what makes most sense for how you're operating your bees, your business. For some people, it would not make any sense to sacrifice the honey that you can extract just to, you know, go ahead and save some brood. However, in my situation this year, I am wanting to, I'm erring more on the side of generosity, of leaving bees with their own stores, simply because of budget considerations on our side as far as buying feed. And then also too, I'm very interested to see what the health difference is going to be between bees that have a decent amount of their own nectar stores versus what I'm feeding them artificially, whether it's corn syrup or sucrose. So kind of an interesting, always doing experiments, always learning. But, so yeah, once again, popping the lid here, and throwing the solar board on, and wait. This is a perfect time to have that margarita, or, you know, whatever mixed drink that you aren't supposed to be carrying in your truck. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of an update on what we're doing here, just getting everything set up. Big thing, want to hit those mites, get the population as close to zero as possible. The main honey flow over here. So it's actually one thing really nice about Washington, you know, thinking about Manitoba, and Ian can kind of correct me on this, it's been a few years, but it seemed to me like we would do our last extraction a lot of times in the middle of August, end of August, because you'd have good goldenrod. If we were by sunflowers, you'd have a late flow. And then it was this absolute mad rush to get your bees treated for mites, get them fed, because you never knew when winter would break loose. And so here in Washington, it's really nice that you almost have the whole month of August to get your bees situated, get them treated, make sure they have good stores going into September, when your temperatures start to drop and your days are getting noticeably shorter daylight wise. Anyways, good luck, and catch you soon.